Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live on this fantastic Sunday evening. Why is it fantastic? Because you are free. We are always free when it comes to talking about cricket. Otherwise, we are very busy people. We have 3 parallel meetings, 4 board meetings running at the same time right now. But we are here to talk about cricket because we love it. My name is Gaurav Kapur. With me, Mr. Harsha Bhogle, Mr. Parthiv Patel.
Sir, you are speaking for yourself or for everybody?
Sir,
because I am not having board meetings. I am simple person, sir. I am coming talking cricket.
Sir, but he is having a board meeting right
Correct.
now.
You are having multiple investor conferences.
So that's why I'm wearing a suit. That's why
But it was a Zoom meeting, no?
Yeah, but
So why are you wearing pants?
because I had to come here. I had to come here in.
If we had moved the table, then, this is very insensitive of us. If we had moved the table, then Parthiv wouldn't have to make that extra effort. But he's making it because he loves you. All of you. Zara, inka single shot camera kato. Yeah. Blow kisses.
पहले काटे तो.
Kato. Oh, hey. So sweet. Maza aa gaya. The reason why he's happy, we're all happy, is of course because India is wrapped up the series 3-1. But there is still more cricket to be played. And we love cricket when people call it a dead rubber. I call it an alive rubber. The reason being because you can see some new things happening here. And, there's a little less stress going into it. And you can see some new things happening here, which means that India could perhaps try 1 or 2 more things. And with the West Indies, you see them playing with a nothing to lose attitude, and that could just unlock some potential in them.
We are searching for a peg, aren't we?
No.
If the West Indies had to do that, they would have done it by now.
But sir, they had everything to lose, no? Yeah. Now they have nothing to lose. Now they come and say, "Har gaye series."
I don't think the West Indies
3-1 or 4-1 mein kya farak hai?
Yes, but West Indies against India, India's record, West Indies, what they've done recently, West Indies should never have had the fear of anything to lose because they're playing against a bigger team. But
Perhaps.
no, only reason I brought that up is if they had to play like that, I'd love them to play like that.
Yeah.
They would have already have done it because you look at the West Indies team down and you see the talent and the ability, and what they've done doesn't justify the ability that they
You had
have.
said yesterday, sir, on Twitter, it is the sum is...
The whole is less than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
The sum of the parts is large. Robin Powell goes to play franchise cricket. He's a match winner. Nicholas Pooran is a match winner. Shimron Hetma is a match winner. They all come together and they're underwhelming.
Yeah, that is a problem. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens that it's not 1 + 1 is 11 in a team effort, right? It's not. It has to. There is some magic that is involved. You can't just add a bunch of people. थोड़ा एक कहीं से कुछ चिंगारी आनी चाहिए ना?
Yeah, that's what they need to take a pride in playing for West Indies. That's something which is probably, I'm not saying that they are not, but they have to show that that they want to win games. I think once they did it, they beat England. I think arguably England is one of the best white ball team going around. They beat them at home. So I think obviously they are not playing with the right approach, which we've been talking about, and they need to come out well collectively, which is also not happening, and that is the reason why they are 3-1, and that one game which even they won was like almost they lost it.
Yeah.
And the guy who provides the balance to that side, who's a match winner everywhere he goes, is playing the 100.
Yeah.
He's not playing for the West Indies. He's playing the 100.
Yeah.
So when does
Sir, naam bhi batao logo.
Andre Russell.
Yeah,
Andre
people
Russell.
want to know because we are not all as bright as you, sir. हम सब सारा क्रिकेट नहीं देखते. कल सर ने हमको नॉर्वे प्रीमियर लीग के बारे में बताया.
नहीं वो पढ़ा
तो पता नहीं था क्या है.
नहीं मैंने देखा नहीं था, मैंने पढ़ा था.
नहीं पर सर आप पढ़ते हैं ना इसके बारे में.
I didn't even know that a Norway T20 league.
But see, you have educated us, Parthiv.
No chance.
I also didn't know.
Because Parthiv scouting ends at Estonia. It doesn't go to Norway.
उससे आगे नहीं जाते ये. नहीं इनका सर इधर ही है. ये यहीं पे रहते हैं. Correct?
Correct.
You just stay within
India.
जन्मभूमि, कर्मभूमि इसी के अंदर रहते हैं.
PPDA is only.
PPDA is a domestic endeavor.
Domestic.
Okay.
But it is domestic only in domain. It is international in thought. Yes. Think local, act global. That's what he does. But yes, so Andre Russell is not there. He provides so much balance to them. And there
Sunil Narayan doesn't play.
There was, sorry?
And Sunil Narayan doesn't play.
Sunil Narayan doesn't play. I don't understand. Yeah. Maybe it's a sleeve issue. I don't know. But there is something to be said about this West Indies team which had this thick middle, right? I'm not talking about Hetmeyer. They had these all-rounders, right? There was Carlos Brathwaite, that 2016 World Cup, how can we forget? There was Kieron Pollard, Andre Russell, now Sunil Narayan also increasing.
Wayne Bravo.
So,
I mean, you look down that West Indies side, I remember one of the franchise owners, we were having a little chat a few years ago, very passionate franchise owner. And he just told me, let us make a list of the West Indies team. He said, ये team को कैसे हराओगे आप? Because it had, and there was Chris Gayle, of course.
Just Chris Gayle.
There was Chris Gayle, there was Dwayne Bravo, there were
Landon
all.
Simmons.
You make a list of the greats, and they were all there. Now they've moved on, but there's still a very good side. Kyle Mayers has come along. Brandon King is still a pretty good player. It's still a very good side, but I don't think they're playing at the moment like it's a very good side.
Yeah.
They might do well today for all that.
I mean, I hope for their sake, I hope for the sake of world cricket, because it's also going to be strange in October, Parthiv, watching West Indies play the qualifiers for the T20 World Cup.
That's been happening since last, they've been doing this, 2-3 World Cups now.
Yeah,
Which is
but not in the T20. Have they ever played qualifiers in the T20? I know they played it in the 50 over.
They did.
Because what happens
last year as well.
Last year as well, yeah.
The West Indies team that plays T20 internationals bears a resemblance to all the West Indies stars that they possess, but is never a sum of all the stars that they possess.
Yeah. Correct.
Because players are playing everywhere else.
Yeah.
But there was a time when Kyron Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, they've had the other thing, of course, in all fairness, they've had a lot of disputes with the cricket board.
Yeah.
So it's only now that the cricket board and the players are thinking and they're all on the same page. You remember after they won the 2016 World Cup, it almost set off a protest by what they said after they won. So Darren Sammy moved away. Dwayne Bravo had to move away after that. So at least now the board and the players seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, it was strange though. Darren Sammy, a person who's won them a World Cup, who's got a stadium named after him. Two World Cups.
2012.
And has a stadium named after him, but is not doesn't get along with. I mean, that kind of a guy, you obviously should be the first person that you invite to a meeting about the future of West Indies cricket. But anyway, let's just talk about what's happening in the game today, because this game is also happening in Florida. Lord Hill, the same place where it happened yesterday. They're having the game again today. I'm sure there's a traffic jam outside like there was yesterday, because been to that stadium, there is just that one road, one approach. Bada mushkil hai. Unless you go walking for 10 miles, you got to go in a car and there's a traffic jam. But anyway, hopefully the match will start on time. The news is that India is batting and the openers are out.
Openers are out?
No, not out. Matlab wicket nahi gaya, Parthiv. Don't worry. They are out of the game. They're not playing. Both Surya and Rohit are not playing today.
Okay.
Parthiv got very stressed. Out हो गए already. Miss कर दिया हमने.
Match शुरू होने से पहले
out हो गए sir वो. So both Surya and Rohit have been rested for this game, and there've been two changes. Hardik comes back in because he rested for yesterday's game, so he comes back in and he's captaining. And then there is Ishan Kishan, who is going to be batting. So now the question.
And no Rishabh Pant either.
No Rishabh Pant either.
Oh, there's no Rishabh Pant as well.
So then there's Dinesh Karthik.
Bhuvi as well. So it's not just the openers. India's made 4 changes.
So Kuldeep comes back.
Shreyas Iyer gets another chance. And yesterday we were talking about Kuldeep. So good to see that Kuldeep gets the game. India again playing 3 spinners with the possibility of Huda bowling and therefore 4 spinners. So we've got 4 spinners and 3 quicks today, right?
Yes.
Because you're counting Hardik. And then of course you're counting Avesh and Arshdeep. So let me just say, there's 3 quicks, 4 spinners and 3 wicket keepers. Correct?
And out of all this, I think the main thing you can see that Dinesh Karthik is your wicketkeeper, designated wicketkeeper.
Not Ishan Kishan, ne?
Yeah, not Ishan Kishan. So that means Dinesh Karthik, the Indian team thinks that it's the second wicketkeeper or a backup wicketkeeper, and in case something happens to Rishabh Pant.
I think pata chal gaya yahan se.
But you know, forget who's not playing.
Yeah.
Right? No KL Rahul, no Rohit Sharma, no Surya Kumar Yadav, no Virat Kohli. When you look at the players, no Rishabh Pant. But you look at that side again, it's still a very good side. It's still a very good side that. Sanju Samson will probably get to play number 3 today.
Or he'll open.
Will he open?
He'll open.
He'll open, or Huda might open, because
one of them.
One of them.
I'm guessing that
if you ask Sanju Samson, go open the batting, he'll say, thank you, don't change your mind, and he'll run out onto the ground.
Yeah, I think Huda opened because someone got injured in that Ireland game. That's why he opened it.
I think Ruturaj was in the squad, but was injured during the game. Was in the match, was injured during the game, so Huda opened because he was the number 3.
So here's the thing. India obviously wants these 4 to get batting. So you know what the top 4 will be. They're not worried about getting too much batting to Hardik and Dinesh Karthik. So they are definitely coming 5 and 6. In fact, you may have Akshar. He's also been in good form, so you may have him batting ahead of DK as well. So you know what the Indian team is doing over here. Ishan is definitely going to open. We don't know who's going to open with him. There are 2 contenders. There's a Deepak Huda. There is a Sanju Samson. But with India, you never know. They could send Shreyas Iyer to open as well. Because they are doing some innovative stuff this series, and it's pulled off.
And another captain, Hardik.
Hardik.
Yeah.
No, he
Hardik is
captained
captain.
Ireland.
Yeah,
He captained Ireland. Also, yesterday, he's actually designated vice captain for
Yes.
this tour. Yesterday, Rishabh was vice captain because Hardik didn't play. So today, Hardik comes back in, and of course, Hardik is captaining, which means Rishabh is still vice captain. Oh, Rishabh's not there.
Rishabh's not
so
there.
Rishabh's out. So who's vice captain?
Shreyas maybe.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Or they might tell Dinesh Karthik, यार बच्चों का होगा तुम कर लो थोड़ी
Because
देर.
Dinesh Karthik captained in the side games which were played in England.
In England.
We are going for a captain's 11, no?
Correct.
There's going to be a captain's all-star 11, wicket-keeper all-stars 11. There's going to be a lot. But anyway, this is the team and it looks quite solid and is batting
Yes,
first.
but they finished batting at 7 today.
Yeah.
Number 8 is Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they finished batting at 7. Kuldeep will hang around, but he wants someone to bat with. He's not going to finish the game. If you need 20 of 8 balls, so Avesh.
Avesh can hit sixes.
So Avesh might come ahead of.
Kuldeep.
I mean, अगर वहां तक बात चलेगी तो फिर तो anyway
ये slow track है भाई.
नैया डूब गई फिर तो.
हाँ. But it's a very good toss to win.
Yeah.
Because you want to bat first. If it's going to start slowing down like yesterday, then you want to bat first and put runs on the board.
Let's talk about Harshal Patel. A lot of you must be wondering why you've not seen him in this series. He had a rib issue, which made him miss 2 games. And then after that, that has become a side strain. And that means that not only is he not available for these games, he's also not available for the Asia Cup, and his position and fitness is in doubt for the World Cup as well, which is really, it's really crushing because he's been crushing it, right? The last year and a half, 2 years, he's really been crushing it. He's come in. He's a guy who's, again, a bit like Surya, right? He's got his chance late in terms of age. And he's used his life experience almost, his smarts to, do what sometimes you feel people at that speed should not be achieving.
When you
that
come
much
back at
success.
that age,
Yeah.
you're not certain how long your body is going to stay with you to keep playing. You've got to work really hard. So when you come back at that stage and then suddenly this happens, it can be heartbreaking because there's nobody who follows cricket who doesn't have admiration for what Harshal Patel has done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around first-class cricket for a long time. He's gone and played in Haryana. He's opened the batting. He's bowled all the tough overs there. He's done well in 2 IPLs now. He's done everything to deserve being there, but it's not come easy for him. He's had to work his backside off to come so far. Now, if this keeps him out of the T20 World Cup, suddenly saying 2 more years.
Yeah.
Am I going to keep doing this 2 more years? So I wish for his sake, because he's done all the hard yards.
Yeah.
I hope he's ready in time.
And the thing is that when it comes late, sometimes you appreciate it a lot more. At the same time, you get a little detached from the actual success. You're less excited. Maybe that allows you to be more objective.
Absolutely. I think, when you know that, you've worked really hard for it, you may make a comeback or make it to the side, you know that you already have done all the hardship whichever has been required out of you. Going into Ranji Trophy and playing in Haryana in that Lali Stadium, I know how that is. And just to play there for so many years, he was basically first from Gujarat and then went to Haryana because he was not finding a place in Gujarat 11. So then he went to Haryana and played in difficult situations, and just to be injured very, very close to World Cup, where you would have been probably in the squad and maybe would have played in the playing 11. So must be very disappointing for him and disappointing for all the fans who could be sympathized with him, because we know that the guy has worked really hard. Someone who's done really well, not only for Haryana, he's gone through the ranks of under 23 India or NCA camps, all of that he has done. And you wait for World Cup. There are a lot of players, there are a lot of greats who have not part of been World Cup squads.
Yeah.
And he had that opportunity now, but unfortunately he got injured. But we'll hope that he gets fit.
Making debut late in your life, making it later in life, actually, Parthiv is the wrong person to ask, because he made his debut when he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
So therefore, क्या समझेंगे दर्द? रमेश बाबू.
Because दर्द समझा ना, क्योंकि 8 साल के बाद comeback हुआ, as good as making a comeback. That is also as good as making a comeback.
पता है इनको. Just in case you thought कि ये show off करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि he is also son of the soil. School of hard knocks. इनको भी पता है. But एक बात, I'll tell you something about Harshal. I didn't know much about him, and then I got him on my show Breakfast with Champions and I spoke with him. I tell you, I have never been this surprised. In 65 episodes, I've never been that surprised like I got with him, because
He's a philosopher, no?
He's a philosopher.
He's a philosopher, yeah.
He's like quoting Leonard Cohen, and I was like, "Bhai, tu fast bowler ko kharab naam de raha hai yaar." By quoting philosophers and all, and he's, I guess so. I mean, that's what endeared me to him, and that's what made me realize his journey, and that's why you feel just a little bit of a pinch. You feel it for all players because they work so hard to get there, but sometimes किसी के साथ थोड़ी ज़्यादा affinity हो जाती है. And I think also in India's plans, Harsha, India has really prepped him. Right, they've invested in him, they've backed him, they've prepped him.
Yes,
for this role.
The reason they've had to do that is Bumrah was all alone bowling at the death.
Yeah.
And so when Harshal Patel came around, they had an option to Bumrah.
Yeah.
So, not an option, but a companion to Bumrah to bowl at the death. It also meant that maybe Bumrah could bowl an extra over up front if he was doing well.
Yeah.
Because when Bumrah starts to bowl well in the first 6 overs, he used to get 1 over, bowled really well. Instead of thinking second, third, you think, piche kaun dalega phir?
Yeah.
So now with Harshal, there was an option. So on the odd days, really doing well, you could give Bumrah an extra over. Now again, you're thinking, okay, who at the death? Which is why Arshdeep doing well, and if he continues to do well, he will give you that option. But Harshal was a 6-hitter at number 8 as well.
Yeah. That is
so
true.
now you're starting to think, he was a very good number 8.
Just a quick question, Parthiv. You've played Harshal, of course, and you must have played him in the nets and all as well. What is the magic of that slower ball?
I think it's just the arm speed that doesn't change. You know, when you look at the bowler, there's arm speed changes or it changes the grip. There are clues you get as a batsman that this is what something is going to trying to do. But he changes his grip at very last moment, and that arm speed doesn't change. And because it's the same speed, it dips as also. So that is something makes him more dangerous. Not every bowler, everyone bowls slower on, but he has that proper arm speed as he's bowling the normal ball, and that is the reason why there are more revolution behind the ball, and that is the reason why ball.
But he can also bowl at 133, 135.
So it became more effective also because his stock ball, the number 1 ball, was 135. Yeah. Before a couple of years, it was 130. So there wasn't a big difference between a slower one and the normal ball. But now the difference is about 15 or 20 kilometers. So that's where you have to make a bigger adjustment as a batsman. So that makes him even harder.
Yeah. Well, we pray for his recovery and hope he's fine for the World Cup. But side strains and fast bowlers, geez, it is a tough one. But it's not easy being a fast bowler. It is the toughest job. Parthiv, okay, wicketkeeper is second.
Wicketkeeper is second.
Wicketkeeper in Test cricket is second. Wicketkeeper
and opener. If you are a wicketkeeper and opener, then first. If you are a wicketkeeper and opening, then
more than fast bowler also.
Yeah.
क्या बात है? Actually, ठीक है. Wicketkeeper and opening.
Wicketkeeper and opening.
Okay, so it's toughest for Parthiv Patel, second toughest for Harshal Patel, but it's very difficult for Patels in general. Right?
But if you ask Ajay Jadeja, he'll say toughest is batting at number 6.
Yeah, but the way he used to throw himself around, I can imagine, at least when he was fielding. All right, let's have a look at the West Indies team because, well, I told you there's going to be excitement today. 4 changes for India.
They've changed their openers too.
How many changes for West Indies? Come on, guessing.
They've also changed their openers.
Oh, they've also changed their
No king, no mayors.
That's right, because they looked at India and said, Acha. Remember Baman Irani and Amitabh Bachchan in that movie? He said that, they said, अरे ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है
ये तो कुछ
तुमने अपने ओपनर छोड़े मैं भी अपने ओपनर छोड़ दूंगा no problem. So they have changed their openers. So does it look like Hetmaier is going to open? Let's have a look. Again, yesterday we were looking at their squad and saying, will guys come off the bench and play? Yes, they have, and a lot of them. So Hayden Walsh gets a chance to play. So good, we'll see that leggy. He's playing in place of Akil Hussain. So
why are they playing both on this track? Why aren't they playing both on this track?
That's what the West Indies is doing. So with India, you can understand, why they are making those changes. Here, there's just for the sake of it.
That's what I'm not understanding. You had Obed McCoy, Dominic Drakes. You've got Odin Smith back. He bowls pace. So Akil Hussain is either they've said, Akil Hussain has done enough, so let's give Kimo Paul a chance. Because they're saying, हम भी audition कर सकते हैं. तो क्या हमारी team हार रही है? We can also audition. So I guess that's what they're doing because Akil Hussain is a sure starter.
Yeah.
He's the one who's troubled Indians the most consistently across this series.
Also, both spinners bowling together would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because Hayden Walsh, the leggies, always do well in Australia. You've got the support of the big boundaries. Would have been interesting to see from the captain's point of view, where do I bowl Akil Hussain? Where do I bowl Hayden Walsh when I have both options? It's not only picking 11 and going on to the ground. It's also picking when they are best.
Yeah.
And for a captain to recognize which phases whom to play. So if they had both spinners playing today, would have been interesting for a Nicholas Pooran to see how he used both of them.
Yeah.
So, and if you want to make changes, or if you want to audition a player, you can only do it if you're winning it. that winning gives you that confidence. If you're not winning it, then you're just trying for the sake of it. Just let's 15 आए तो 15 को खिला देते हैं chance.
But I mean, it's these players have got a chance.
Only thing for
Shamar
them
Brooks
is-
played before. Kemo Paul's played. Odin Smith has played. They've all played. So
Yeah, the only thing for them is they don't have too many games before the T20 World Cup.
yeah.
So maybe they thought, okay, in the time that we have, let's give these guys another chance. Odin Smith is not a sure shot member of the squad. Kemo Paul is not a certain member of the squad. Dominic Drakes is not a certain member of that squad. I'm not sure Shamar Brooks is either.
Yeah.
So maybe they're saying, okay, chalo, charo jaake khelo. But if that was their idea, they should have given them 3-4 games in a row.
Yeah. True.
Yeah,
Should have, right? Because
absolutely.
I'm not understanding what they're doing. Play a person game 2, then game 5, somebody in 1 and then 4, then...
And when you're rebuilding, you've got a couple of openers that are doing well. You want to give them a run. Why do you want to just get them out of it? The rebuilding phase is where if you're doing well, you give them chances. You just keep them playing. You don't keep changing around and trying. So I mean, it's very difficult to make sense of it.
West Indies plays New Zealand. I think they play Australia as well. They play Australia. Wow, I got a question for you. Actually, I have not got it. It was Mr. Bhogle who noticed this and brought it to our attention. That West Indies in the last 200 years have played one match in Australia.
This is Deepu Stats numbers.
Deepu Stats.
Deepu Stats numbers.
What has Deepu Stats got for us?
I don't think they've travelled to Australia since 2015.
Yeah.
I'm not certain, but they haven't. I'm not sure. And I think they haven't played a T20 since 2013
Wow.
in Australia.
One T20 since 2013.
Yeah, so the only people who've played T20 cricket in Australia are the guys who've gone and played a little bit of the Big Bash,
Yeah.
which is Nicholas Pooran has played a little bit, Robin Powell might have played a little bit, but Jason Holder might have played a little bit. That's it. And to think that through the 80s, Australia never invited, hardly ever, didn't invite India that much, say between 91 in the 90s, 91 to 99, India
West
didn't go.
Indies used to be there.
Kept calling the West Indies. Everyone says India's commercial.
Yeah.
Now that India is commercially successful, England is commercially successful, Australia no longer inviting the West Indies to play that much anymore.
Yeah.
So because they're no longer valuable, so this team is going to go to Australia not having played very much there.
Little fish out of water.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and especially the kind of pitches they're playing in West Indies itself. West Indies is known for their fast pitches, bounce, and all of that in early 80s and 70s. But now, if you look at all the wickets here, have been slow and low, and the CPL scores are 140, 150. So it's going to be a difficult task for West Indies to get acclimatized to those bouncy wickets. If you've not been there, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Also, I wonder if Romario Shepherd is injured or what. They've not picked Romario Shepherd today. They've
Played
gone
one
back.
game though,
Yeah,
right?
he played one game.
Played the first.
They've gone back to Odin Smith. They've stayed with Dominic Drake. So they've not picked Romario Shepherd today.
Yeah. Interesting. He's
Sunrisers
also been the
like
leading
him.
wicket taker. One of their leading wicket takers in T20 cricket. So I'm a little, well, I mean, I don't know.
Expensive, though.
Looking at West Indies today and we're like, what are they doing? But actually, it's not about the 11. It's what the 11 is doing on field. And hopefully we'll see that back a bit more of a punch than they have in the previous few games, because they've lost 3. And those 3, they never looked like they were anywhere close. And the one that they won also, Parthiv, it looked like they were about to squander that opportunity.
Yeah, it was. It was like... They probably, as we've been talking about it, we've got to repeat ourselves by saying that there's lack of approach, there's lack of thinking, and now that it's been shown in the kind of playing 11 they're playing also. So obviously they need to get their thinking cap right and maybe get the right color on the cap, make sure that they're thinking right.
There's still 3 or 4 batting match winners in this 11, by the way.
Yeah.
Robin Powell can still win your game. Shimron Hetmai can still win your game. Nicholas Pooran can still win your game. But the question is, how will this track play? If this track continues to play like it did yesterday and slows down as you go along, then all these players, I mean, we saw Thomas made 31 of 19 balls the other day.
Yeah.
But all these players, if it starts to slow down, then it's going to be hard for them.
Okay, let's talk about the Asia Cup, because that selection is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow, the team gets picked for the Asia Cup. And the Asia Cup is essentially just a way to make India and Pakistan play lots of matches in a short period of time. And then, of course, I'm going to get trolled from Bangladesh, right? I'm just going to get trolled from Bangladesh and Sri Lanka completely. But
struggling at the moment. I mean, if they beat India, Pakistan and make it to the final and prevent a third game between India and Pakistan, that's okay. But I find the structure of that Asia Cup very fascinating.
the structure is to make India and Pakistan play as
there is
many
no
times as
secret.
possible. You thought I was joking about it. It's the truth.
There is no secret either.
Yeah.
Look at the way it's structured. India, Pakistan qualifier.
Nice.
Not India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, not India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Pakistan qualifier. So that whatever chance of an upset, that is also gone. Because if you're playing India, Pakistan, say Bangladesh or Afghanistan or Sri Lanka, you get caught on a turner, you get caught on a slowish deck one day and one of the teams loses and they don't make the Super Fours, then suddenly the tournament is tantafis.
Yeah.
So you have to have a qualifier in there, whereas on the other side, you've got Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Side, India, Pakistan, yahan pe.
Yeah.
Then you go to Super Fours. So you carry out that charade to take out two teams.
Yeah.
And then they play against each other again.
Yeah.
Then final.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
I've never seen a schedule which is TBC versus TBC throughout.
Pretty much that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they basically don't want the 2007 50 over World Cup scene. They don't want Ireland, Bangladesh.
Ever since that has happened.
Jeez, man, it's really, I remember that day really well, and I'm sure you guys remember that day really well as well.
Yeah.
Where you suddenly just heard that, what? 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 That whole day was just what?
And it was disastrous for the economy of some of those islands in the West Indies because everyone cancelled their bookings.
Yeah.
Yachts, people had hired yachts
Yeah.
to go there, stay, live on the boat.
Yeah.
Or on the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
Ship, boat, yacht. हमारे लिए सब same लगते हैं.
Yes, sir, I know
But-
because my yacht had been booked by some people
No.
and then they cancelled it. So I had to sell it because I didn't have money to put the EMI. Since then, I've been riding a cycle. It's just safest.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Asia Cup is what's coming next. And after today, we're going to see you then, of course. That's going to be every day in English and in Hindi. And of course, we have our entire stellar cast, our constellation of shining bright celestial bodies that are going to be here on Cricbuzz Live. But right now, we are going to talk about our score guesses. Score guesses, real quick, for this. India batting first. Yesterday.
178.
थोड़ा सर चल कते
इसके लिए छोड़ रहा हूँ.
Yeah, 178.
इसके लिए छोड़ रहा हूँ.
183.
अच्छा
183.
183
थोड़ा slow हो जाएगा ना डायलॉग.
Okay,
But
so then
183.
you
178, 183.
178 183
190 चलो.
hey 200
I'm winning.
हाँ क्या पता ठीक है देखते हैं वैसे भी कोई प्राइज वैसे तो मिलता है नहीं तो
अपना ये कप कितना आईपीएल से पड़ा हुआ है जाता ही नहीं.
सही बात है जॉय अभी आज के जॉय फैक्टर विनर को देंगे कप एक
हाँ.
ठीक है आज हम देंगे टुडे विल
सारे तो तुम्हारे घर में पड़े हुए वो.
कोई बात नहीं वहां से भेज दूंगा कोरियर के पैसे आपको देने पड़ेंगे घर पे पर कप मैं भेज दूंगा घर से ठीक है आइए सवाल को देखते हैं एक नजर डालें जॉय फैक्टर के सवाल पर आज का सवाल है इफ इट वाज गौतम गंभीर इन 2011 रविंद्र जाडेजा इन 2012 Glenn Maxwell in 2013 who was it in 2014 what is the meaning of this
Meaning Gautam Gambhir did something in 2011, which was the same thing that Ravindra Jadeja did in
I
2012.
think I'm getting it.
And Glenn Maxwell did in 2013.
I'm getting it. 11. I think.
Answer बोल रहे हो अभी से?
नहीं आंसर नहीं बोल रहा हूँ.
क्या कुछ तो clue दो
Clue.
Clue. Answer मत बोलो.
2011 Gautam Gambhir was highest paid in IPL. 12 Ravindra Jadeja was highest paid. 13 Glenn Maxwell was. So 14
I know then 2014
could be.
I know if that's the thing then I know
I think that's
connection
something.
होता है normally.
and normally has a connection with the game but what's the
Yeah,
connection with today's game
I think that's the connection.
you think that's it
Yeah.
money wise
Money wise, yeah. Highest, not money, I mean just highest about auction.
money only ना money auction में money तो देते हैं
देते हैं, but
candy
yeah,
floss
It's
थोड़ी ना
so
देते
funny.
yeah it's money
In Gaurav Kapur's world.
See, the moment Joyda gave a question about money, I got it.
because you are a love it no problem at all so then will you give the cup or not if
of
somebody
course,
gets it
yeah.
अब तो क्लू भी ले दिया तो कप भी इन्हीं को मिलेगा चलो
अच्छा।
एक कप रख दो इनके बैग में ट्रॉफी नहीं वो दूसरी हाँ वो कप रख दो तो कप भी उनके पास चला गया बट बिफोर वी रैप अप लेट्स प्ले अ फन गेम अबाउट एशिया कप प्रेडिक्शंस ये वीव गॉट सर यूथफुल वीव गॉट अ फ्यू मीम्स हियर सो आइए जल्दी से दिखाते हैं आपको मीम्स और जल्दी से थोड़े गेसेस करते हैं इन एशिया कप ये देखिए क्या है ये वन प्लेयर हु मेड द मोस्ट ऑफ द चांसेस एंड वन हु डिडंट विनी विडविची सर इसका मतलब बता दीजिए लोगों को विनी विडविची ये मेरे 3 कजन है जो रहते हैं पंजाबी बाग में Winnie, Vidi.
Who came, who saw, who conquered?
That's right. तो किसने कराई?
Came, who saw, who conquered? Indian team. I would have actually said Harshal Patel.
Yeah.
But now he conquered. थोड़ा वो sad हो गया है.
Yeah.
Who came? Either Surya or Dinesh Karthik.
Okay, nice.
I think Arshdeep Singh.
अरे यार. You know, he's that PPPDR जो भी बोलते हो. The moment you say something, बोलना चाहिए था ही.
Correct.
I think Arshdeep Singh.
I don't know if he's finished conquering it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he's cemented his place.
I think he has made the most of his
made the most
opportunity.
of his
I think मानना ही
opportunities,
पड़ेगा फिर.
Yes.
I think मानना
And
पड़ेगा.
someone
तो
who's
सूर्या
blew it
ने 2-3 पहले से करता है.
and someone who's blew it up would be Shreyas Iyer.
अरे ऑलरेडी आपने नेक्स्ट का चलो ठीक है उसका भी मीम था दिखा दो फिर पार्थिव ने ऑलरेडी दे दिया जल्दी कर देखो बहुत तेज जा रहे हैं
This is called run order पर क्या दे रहा हूँ.
अच्छा वेरी नाइस
और ईशान किशन.
Yeah.
Drake
Mine.
that's for Drake's
Was-
hey
From 2021 who'll miss the bus?
yeah
It's easy to say Varun Chakravarti,
yeah
Shardul Thakur.
Yeah.
Shardul Thakur maybe.
okay
Quite a few.
call
Mohammad Shami has been made to miss the bus.
I guess yeah.
Yeah.
They just never called him to the bus stop
हाँ क्यों? बचा के रखा है इनने.
नहीं सर कहाँ अभी तो फिर तो खेल लिया होता ना कल सुबह तो बिल्कुल डाउट क्लियर हो जाएगा आप अभी भी हम आपको कब से कह रहे हैं कि इट डजंट सीम लाइक ही इज इन द थिंग यू आर स्टिल सेइंग ही विल प्ले द वर्ल्ड कप कल जब एशिया कप की टीम अनाउंस होगी एंड हिज नेम इज नॉट इन इट देन विल यू बिलीव अस विल यू बिलीव सर
But he was part of a squad where he was the lead fast bowler.
I agree with you sir we agree he should be there but will you believe us कल तो मानना पड़ेगा इनको right he is not believing sir what to say anyway he will believe in 5 minutes we will know so then he will believe okay and last one is बताना पार्थिव क्या है
उतना ही पड़ा.
अच्छा इतना ना one surprise selection and exclusion came out of nowhere I did not see that coming
Surprise exclusion if it is Shami.
Shami correct we are all on the same page over there
Yeah.
surprise
Surprise selection? If there is, then what is all this we've been talking about कि कैसे chances देते हैं सबको कैसे राहुल द्रविड़ रोहित शर्मा chances देते हैं सबको तो my surprise will be there will be no surprise.
okay and yours
I think before IPL started, maybe up from 2021, I don't think anyone would have thought that Dinesh Karthik would be part of this World Cup squad or Asia Cup. So to me, just from 2021 to now, I think Dinesh Karthik.
Awesome. Well, the surprise the India team has given is that Shreyas Iyer is opening the batting with Ishan Kishan. So there you go. They're all about giving chances. We thought yesterday that Shreyas had reached the end of his rope, but no, he hasn't. So, well, it's still on. Who will come at
What
three?
if he scores 100 today?
What if he does?
Yeah.
More problems for selectors, captain, coach. Not for us. We are very happy. Indians do well, our boys do well. We are very happy. They're all nice. Everybody do well. Everybody enjoy. Tathastu beta Jio mere lal. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live. We will be back at the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. Please go well, prosper.